Hey guys, Marsegid here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Black, or at least the Crimson Marsaiyan Super Saiyan Rose 3 at 55%. I asked you guys if you wanted to see 55% showcases for the new units, and you did, because obviously people have already posted Rainbow private server showcases and stuff like that. I did pull enough copies. You can see his paths are already open, but I've only filled him out to 55%, then I opened the paths, right? So he's only 55%. We're going to see how well he can do here. His leader skill is Heroes, Super Saiyan 3, or Transformation Boost. Get the 3 key 170, and then Crossover is the extra 30%. He does have some interesting potential for stuff like this. I did the Link Partner video the other day, where we were talking about some of the different options. And something that's going to be very interesting in the future is characters like the AGL transforming Bardock. He's a crossover character, and because he transforms into Super Saiyan, he's on Transformation Boost. So he's on this Rose's 200% leader skill and counts as one of the crossover allies that he needs. So if he gets a good EZA, that could be a very interesting combo for stuff like that in the future. So his super attack is the Divine Binding Light Grenade. He infinitely stacks attack, raises defense for 1 turn, and does immense damage to the enemy. Then his passive is Key 3, attack and defense 180%. He gets an additional attack and defense 150 when attacking, high chance to guard. Then he gets an additional 100% defense and guaranteed guard if there are 3 or more extra crossover, so other than him, right? Another 3 or more crossover allies on the team. So that is his big restriction. That's the main thing that I think people get hung up on in whether or not this guy's going to be good. If you're running him on a team where you don't have 3 other crossover units as well as himself, he's going to miss out on 100% defense, and then he's only going to have a high chance to guard instead of guaranteed. Now, I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world, because as much as, you know, I don't like chance to guard, none of us like chance to guard, but it's better than not having guard at all. And there will be turns, you know, where the RNG goes your way, the guard procs, and then he'll still be relatively good defensively. The thing is, a lot of the teams that you can run him on, especially with some of the new heroes, EZAs, some of these other characters like, you know, the Super Saiyan Bardocks, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, like random characters that count as crossover who aren't heroes, there are going to be team builds that you can make where you can be running these other crossover characters without them being a huge detriment to the team. And obviously, as we go over the coming days with all the hero stuff, we're going to be trying a whole bunch of different team builds, so we're going to get to see that. Obviously, for today, we are just running him on a full heroes team. He also then randomly launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, which, I mean, we're not going to see that very often, are we? So with this showcase, I'm not doing a separate 55% showcase for him, but this is 55% Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly with him as well. They do actually share 5 links, which is pretty good. So this rotation going to be solid. Also, we have Sealus on the rotation, who, whilst he's not sharing any links with either of these two, he is a Time Traveler's support unit. So he is giving them both 20% extra attack and defense. Is it 20% or is it 10% per? I think it's 20% per category, right? Yeah. So Rose starting off at 157k defense. So bear in mind, he does have guard, and then when he supers, he's getting the extra buff as well. So let's see, 14k. Then he does a 4.46. Now, his attack stats, I'm not expecting to start off being like crazy high, because obviously he does infinitely stack attack. But the thing is, in his, I guess, quote-unquote base, because he's Super Saiyan 3 Rose, but before the card transforms, right? In his base form, he doesn't have a built-in way to get additionals if you're not fighting a Goku enemy. So you are probably going to want to give him a decent amount of additional if you do pull dupes. But of course, at 55% as a physical unit, he does get free level 5 additional. So his ideal situations are going to be those turns where he is getting the additional super, because when it comes to his transformation, which I haven't really mentioned yet, is the transformation into full power Rose. His transformation is not an active skill, so his transformation occurs on the 5th turn from the start of battle, and that's it. It's not from his first turn, it's just on the 5th turn from the start of battle. So if you have a Rose in slot 3 or slot 7, he's going to be on turn 3 for the first time. as long as you don't float him off in slot 3, he's coming back on turn 5, and then he just transforms straight away. So he only gets 1 turn actually on rotation, which means he's only possibly going to get the 1 super, right, if he doesn't get an additional towards his infinite stacking. Now, the thing is, once he's transformed into full power Rosé, he obviously keeps the benefit of all of those attack stats. So, or attack stacks, I should say. So, you ideally really want him to get as many super attacks as possible before turn 5 rolls around. Because once you get to turn 5, that's it. He transforms into full power Rosé, and then that's him for the rest of the battle. So, ideally, we want to be getting as many stacks as possible, which is why I say if you do pull dupes, if you do summon, then yeah, you definitely want to give him a decent amount of additional, because there's not a lot of events in the game where we're going to be fighting against an enemy whose name includes Goku. They didn't release any with this celebration, right? We got a Heroes Red Zone where you fight a bunch of Extreme Heroes units, so none of those are Goku. We have, one event from the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will, which was the stage where you fight the Tech, Goku and Vegeta, but I mean, that stage wasn't even particularly hard, but you have an enemy whose name includes Goku there, I guess. But yeah, other than that, it's nothing really too crazy. Like, we had the anniversary special event battle where we had the stages where you fought against the different anniversary versions of Goku and Vegeta. But, you know, I guess we could say, regardless of what new content we get with this anniversary, they'll probably add a 9th anniversary stage to that. So I guess there'll be that, but there is the transformation, fully powered up. The part of the mask breaks away. The sprite is really, really cool. I really like that. So, unfortunately, on this rotation with the friend is 79%, because I couldn't find a 55% friend. Clearly, the people on my friends list who did summon went in. So I couldn't find a 55% friend, but we got a 79% one here. He's dropping an 8 mil attack stat. I should have read out his passive, obviously, now that he's transformed, but we'll do that for the next rotation with the actual 55% one and see how well we get on. So, also, I wanted to try and run as many of the older characters. Obviously, on the other rotation with the 55% Rosé, we have the 55% Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly. But the thing is, outside of some of the other newer units and some of the like God units and stuff like that, Rosé's biggest problem is going to be his links with other heroes units, because he's a Saiyan who's like a Realm of Gods character, has links like Super Saiyan. So there's a lot of the heroes units that he just doesn't really link that well with overall. So this Broly is really good, and the other Super Saiyan 4 Broly, I think they have the same link set, so they link super well together. But other heroes units, like I'm looking at his list of link partners here, and even on 4 links, in terms of heroes partners, there's God Trunks, and then the unawakened Super Saiyan 4 Brolys. Then we drop down to 3 links in order to get to like Vegito, the Berserk Vegeta, Fu, Janemba. So like, he doesn't share a ton of links with the normal heroes units. So I think that'll be one of the more interesting things. Now, when you build your team under his leader skill, obviously that would enable you to bring the crossover units that you need, but then you could also bring other Transformation Boost or Super Saiyan 3 characters. Like, an interesting option, I mentioned this in the Link Partner video, is somebody like Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. He would be getting the 200% leader skill from this Rosé, would share a few links with him, and then is also providing a ton of attack support as well. So that could certainly be very interesting. But his super attack effect once he transforms is raise attack and defense for 1 turn, does immense damage. He recovers 40% HP once only. So if you have 1 on each rotation, that's turn 5 and turn 6, you're getting a 40% heal. And then from every turn after that, he recovers 15% HP at the start of the turn. Key 4, attack and defense 200%. Additional 150% attack and defense when attacking. Raises attack and defense by up to 150%. The more HP remaining, the greater the boost. Then he has guaranteed guard with no restriction once he's transformed. He launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. And if there's an enemy whose name includes Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, he launches another additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. So again, that last part, not very relevant. At least it adds in like the fusions and stuff, right? So there's like the Vegito event from Divine Wrath and Mortal Will. But unfortunately, it's just another one of those things where they've given this to a heroes card because it's relevant to either what the heroes card itself does in the heroes game, or relevant to like the promotional anime, right, where he fights like Blue Vegeta, fights Goku. But then it doesn't translate super well over into Dokkan. Like, if we don't have a lot of difficult content where you have to fight a Goku or you have to fight a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan boss, then it seems kind of pointless to give them these extra abilities that they only get against them. Now, on the one hand, you can say that the extra abilities kind of like, you know, just a little bit extra, and, you know, if they didn't have that, they would potentially just have nothing. But it is still just a little bit frustrating to see an extra ability on a character, but then you know that you're pretty much just never going to activate it, right? Like, the Goku part, I guess in the future, as we continue to randomly get more missions for like the GT Goku event and stuff like that, like any missions that you could run this guy on, he's obviously going to be very good, because getting those additional supers at the beginning means he's going to be stacking that attack. So he's going to be looking pretty nice. You can see here, after getting a couple of supers off, he tanks the super attack from Cell for double-digit damage. So he's definitely looking very, very good. Like, this is on a rotation where he only has Fierce Battle with Hearts, but then he is getting a lot of support from both Hearts and Toa, because Toa has her Easy A. We've just been using her here for support to help boost Rose, so she will get her own proper showcase video where we take a look at her now that she is fully Easy Aid and Rainbow here. But certainly a very, very solid support unit to run on this team. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking Rose, what we see so far. Again, with no support on this rotation and the 5 links with Broly, he's at 176k defense start of turn, and then he's getting 150% when attacking. So that's what? What's 50% of this? About another 80 something. So he's getting, what, about 250-ish on super. So he goes up to being over 400k, close to 450k defense with guard. And then there's the super attack effect, which is 30%. So he's easily getting close to, if not going over, 500k defense with guard. And that's if he only gets one super. And once he's transformed, he does have that ability to get one additional as part of his passive. And then, of course, the hidden potential. Any characters that have built-in attacks, even if the built-in additional only ends up being a normal, like this, it does give you that extra roll on triggering the hidden potential additional super. Now, of course, again, at 55%, you only have level 5 additional, which means it is a 10% chance that that additional super will trigger. So we haven't seen a huge amount of luck with that so far in this run. But there will be turns where he can triple super, and then you're going to be looking at him, even at 55%, he's getting up to like, what, 550k defense with guard, which for a 55% unit is pretty good. Like, some people will obviously see those numbers and be like, oh, you know, that's not good enough for the hardest content in the game. But I mean, we're talking about a unit at 55%. And again, this guy is not fully link leveled. Of course, Sealess, our boy. One of the better 2022 units had to come in and take a super right at the end here. But I mean, I guess Rose, once we transform into full power, he doesn't stack. So I guess we kind of saw what we needed to see out of him at 55%. Mine, I did do a few like stages because we were farming the medals with these guys once we started pulling them. So as you can see, most of his links were very low. And I think he's pretty good. So obviously once I feed the dupes in, get mine link leveled, I'm expecting some very interesting things out of this guy at Rainbow link level 10. But in terms of 55%, I think he is still pretty solid. I don't think he's anywhere near Vegito's level at 55%, especially. But I definitely think he's pretty good. He's very fun. I love the design. Obviously, I'm a big fan of like the Timebreaker mask stuff. I think he looks really cool. I love Goku Black anyway, so you know, the heroes units are just fun. But if you're on the fence about summoning because you can only do a few summons and you want to know what the units are like at 55%, I definitely do think that Rose is pretty good. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.